Welcome to the Hackler Gymnasium on the campus of Pinkerton Academy for the NHIAA Division I Volleyball Championship. Matt Neverett and Tim O'Neill joining you. It's Bishop Guertin, the number 3 seed, taking on the number 1 seeded, number 1 team and 2-time defending state champion Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Let's take a look at how these two teams got here. Hollis-Brookline had the easy route. They had a bye in the first round. They defeated the number 8 seed Spalding by a 3-0 score in the quarterfinal. And on Tuesday, they defeated number 4 seed Dover by a 3-1 advantage. They lost the first set by a 25-16 mark, rattled off 3 straight set victories, 25-17, 25-22, and 25-15 for Bishop Guertin. They've had to play 3 games to get to this point. They defeated the number 14 seeded Goffstown Grizzlies 3-1 in the first round. They defeated Concord, the 6th seed, in a tight matchup in the quarterfinal on the 28th of October, a 3-2 score. And they defeated Nashua South right here on ETV back on Tuesday by a 3-0 decision. It was 25-22, 25-16, and 25-14. They ran away with that game late. Hollis-Brookline has won the last 2 Division I championships. The last team to win a Division I championship that wasn't the Cavaliers was Merrimack all the way back in 2014. Last year, they were a 22-4 team during the regular season. They beat Concord 3-1 in the championship as a 4 seed, and in 2015, a 4 seed as well after a 19-3 regular season. They beat these Bishop Guertin Cardinals 3-1, so a rematch here tonight of the 2015 NHIAA Division I Volleyball Championship. For Bishop Guertin, they'll send out Julia Pascucci, Mariana Gomez, Nina Vassell, Rita Dow, Elizabeth Knapp, and Rachel Kroll. The libero Paula Matos starting the game off on the bench. And we are underway here from the Hackler Gymnasium. Bishop Guertin serving over to Hollis-Brookline. And that one played just in the corner. That's number 16, Maddie Norris, the junior outside hitter, getting the scoring started. It's a 1-0 lead here early on for Hollis-Brookline. Number 5, Kira Belden, the junior center, sent back to serve. She is a captain for this team. Sammy Shepard joins her out there. Kenzie Powers, Marin Anderson, Maddie Norris, Kylie Whalen, and Elizabeth Atkinson. Gomez saves it with the dig and put over the net by Elizabeth Knapp. Here's Hollis-Brookline. That's Atkinson for the Cavaliers, the 6'2" junior, striking it down in the 2-0 lead here in set number 1 for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Number 1 team in the state. They've only lost 5 sets all year. 68 sets won to 5 lost. 2-0. Bishop Guertin trails. There's Knapp putting it over. Shepard will set it up, and Maddie Norris into the net, and Bishop Guertin is on the board for the first time, a 2-1 score. Palamatos, the libero for the Cardinals. She checks in. Alicia Glasheen will also sub in, give Nina Vassell a seat on the bench. Sierra Dinman on the court for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Atkinson and Kaylee Whalen will round out their 6, 2-1 score. Here's Glasheen to serve it over. Setting it up is Belden, and she saves it with the dig. Matos. Not able to save it is Sierra Dinman, the senior, and Elizabeth Knapp ties the game up at 2 here in set number 1 in the state championship. Here's Glasheen to serve once again. Stays on the ground, plays it over the net. Dinman over to Shepard. Shepard plays it up to Atkinson. A free ball. A nice dive there from Gomez. And Pascucci has it tipped at the net. And an opportunity here for Atkinson. And that's down, and another kill for Elizabeth Atkinson. The 6'2" junior's been all over the court here early on. A 3-2 lead right now for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Maddie Norris, junior outside hitter, set back to serve here in set number 1. Glasheen plays it up to Pascucci, blocked at the net and out of bounds. Point goes to the Cardinals, and we're tied up at 3. It was Atkinson and Natalie Cook off the bench in a tandem block, went off their hands and out of bounds right in front of the scorer's table to tie it up here. Knapp, a strong jump serve, but Sammy Shepard able to dig it out. Kaylee Whalen right back at Knapp, not able to handle the heat. And once again, Hollis-Brookline back on top. Cavaliers dropped set 1 in their semifinal matchup against Dover. Just the 5th set they've lost all year, and then they rattled off the next 3. Nice save by Matos on the dig. Pascucci has to play a free ball over the net. Belden sets it up, and a great block. Right there on the line was Rachel Crowell. Tied up at 4 once again. Crowell will come to the bench. Rita Dow checks into the game. Here's the libero Matos. A jump serve. Here's Whalen. A bit too much. And BG with their first lead of the match here in set number 1, a 5-4 mark. Matos, 5'5" junior, has her serve go just short. Atkinson will check out. Kenzie Powers, the senior captain, back into the game. 5-5 the score here in set number 1. Powers to serve. She'll stay on the ground and play a low line drive. Glasheen has it hit off her arms, and Pascucci able to save it. Coming around is Maren Anderson, and that ball just out. Trying to go down the line with it. But BG back out on top with a 6-5 lead. Julia Pascucci to serve. Glasheen will check out, and Nina Vassell back into the game. Here's Pascucci. Plays outside hitter and also sets from the back row. A bit too much on that play from Maddie Norris. And a 2-point lead here for BG in the first set. Pascucci once again to serve. A jump serve to that back left corner. Belden plays it up, but it is a double touch. And really the first unforced error here early on, as it is now 8-5, the biggest lead for the Cardinals thus far. Pascucci once again right into that back corner. Kenzie Powers tried to save it. That would have been close either way. And the head coach for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers, Becky Balfour, out to have a word with her defensive specialist. Those ones are tough. Pascucci tries to go soft, has it hit off the net. And now a 9-6 score. As BG was up 4, now up by 3. Here's Kaylee Whalen, just a sophomore. Both these teams pretty young, only with 3 seniors. Going to be good for years to come. Vassell plays it up. And another unforced error cuts the lead to 2. Rita Dow just not able to play it over. Whalen back to serve once again. Her team trails by 2 in the first set. Gets the signal from the libero Shepard on the serve. Plays it to the libero Matos. She'll play it over from the back row off the net. Better to be lucky than good for Paula Matos. And the Bishop Guertin lead back to 3 at 10-7. Mariana Gomez to the service line. Sierra Didman will check in. Kaylee Whalen to the bench for the Cavaliers. Gomez a jump serve, a knuckleball that's played up by Shepard. Here's Norris, and a dive from Gomez. That'll keep it up. They'll have to play it back to her, and Gomez plays it over the net. Over to Whalen once again. Right at the libero Matos. Over to Pascucci. And a free ball over the net from Knapp. Maren Anderson plays it over for the Cavs. Nice little rally here with the score 10-7 in the first set. And another free ball. There's Knapp. Pascucci back to Knapp. Shepard with the dive, and Dinman not able to play it over. So Bishop Guertin wins the first long rally so far of the match. And their lead back up to 4. 11-7. The Cardinals were up 9-5. And now up 11-7, a pair of 4-point leads for them in the first set. And Hollis-Brookline gets the momentum back. Nice kill there, brings the score to 11-8. Anderson will have a seat. Natalie Cook, 5'11" junior, will slide into the front row with the libero, Sammy Shepard, serving. Goes to the back corner. Gomez plays it up to Matos. Here's Norris, right through a diving Gomez. And Hollis-Brookline back to within 2 points. The back-to-back defending state champions on the comeback trail already. Again, they lost set number 1 in their semifinal match by a 25-16 score. But they trail 11-9 here in set number 1 against Bishop Guertin in the state championship. And Elizabeth Knapp, too much power, and back to within 1 is Hollis-Brookline. Shepard to serve again. 5'6" junior. Jump serve low over the net, but saved by the other libero, Paula Matos. Dinman and Shepard not communicating, and Kenzie Powers not able to do anything with it. So the communication early on, problem here for the Cavaliers. Matos to the bench. 12-10 the score here in set number 1. Glasheen back in, she'll play it over. Here's Norris, and a powerful drive, puts it down and brings the Cavaliers back to within a point. Dow back to the bench as Matos back into the game. Here's Kira Beldman, the senior captain for the Cavaliers. Matos off the bench, gets the dig. Pascucci over to Gomez in the back row, and a good job by Sierra Dinman of letting that ball go. And this match is tied here in the first set. Beldon to serve again, 12-12 the score. Low line drive, sharply played by Gomez. And Knapp with a lift, she got just a bit too far under it as she tried to play a firm tip down the line and into the back corner, but not to be. And Hollis-Brookline with the lead, 13-12 the score. Beldon serves it too far. Gomez and Matos communicating in that back row and letting it drop. That'll bring in Glasheen, Nina Vassell to check out. 13-13, a back and forth affair here already. Glasheen with the serve, played up by Beldon, and Gomez saves it for the Cardinals. Here's Knapp on the left side. Over to Norris and a block at the net. Glasheen with an outstanding effort. Pascucci to play it over the net. There's Dinman. Beldon and a double touch called. And 14-13 the score. Alicia Glasheen, the 5'6" sophomore, plays it over. Glasheen trying to catch him napping, but Shepard able to save it in the corner. Here's Maddie Norris. Back set to Pascucci, blocked at the net, goes down the net itself. And a 2-point lead once again for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, 15-13. It was a good block by Atkinson and Natalie Cook at the net, but just a bad bounce off the net on their side. Beldon all the way across for Cook, but Pascucci awaiting the hit. Knapp off a tip, and the point goes to the Cardinals as Elizabeth Knapp, the 5'8" sophomore, has been involved in the game plan heavily. Both Pascucci and Glasheen, the setters, finding ways to get her the ball down the line. 16-13, and a softball played over from Glasheen. Matos plays it up. Pascucci with the good effort to get there. We'll see if they can play it across. Glasheen over the back does it. Here's Cook to Beldon. Cross to Norris, and a powerful kill right past the arms of Elizabeth Knapp. And winning that rally is one that can really change up some momentum as Kaylee Whalen comes back into the game. Sierra Dinman, the senior, will have a seat. Here's Maddie Norris, the outside hitter to serve. Gomez lets it get a little bit too far in. Matos able to pick her up, and Pascucci plays it over on a tip. Back over on one touch. Glasheen with a double touch. Back to within a point are the Hollis-Brookline Cavs. 16-15 the score here in set number 1. Matos, a diving effort to pancake that ball and play it over. Here's Belden over to Whalen, blocked at the net. They'll try again. A tip on the second play. Gomez gets a hand underneath it, but right over the outstretched arms of Alicia Glasheen. This first set, neck and neck as tight as they come. 16-16 the score here early on. And going right after Gomez is Maddie Norris, and it pays off as Bishop Guertin falls behind by a point, 17-16. Cardinals looking to side out. Right back to Gomez, plays it up this time right to the setter Glasheen. She plays it right behind her and played back to Glasheen. Here's Matos. Gomez is going to be forced to play one from the back row. Here's Belden to Atkinson. Right at Matos. Good job of keeping it up. Pascucci forced to play a free ball over. Shepard to Belden. Goes behind her to Atkinson again, and another effort, but not to be, as it goes right off the arms of Glasheen and Matos and into the crowd here at the Hackler Gymnasium. And Hollis-Brookline's opened up a 2-point lead, 18-16 in the first set. And that'll force Abby Savard to take her first timeout, the first timeout of this NHIAA Division I state championship matchup between the number 3 seeded Bishop Guertin and the number 1 team in the state, the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Back-to-back defending champions going for the three-peat this year, trying to finish out the undefeated season. They're 20-0 right now after going 18-0 in the regular season. And on the year, they've won 68 sets and only lost 5. They dropped the first set, Hollis-Brookline did, in their semifinal matchup against Dover. And then right after dropping the 25-16 mark in set number 1, they recovered and were able to rattle off 25-17, 25-22, and a dominating 25-15 finish in set number 4 to move on to the state championship game. And for Bishop Guertin, they defeated Nashua South, the 7 seed, in straight sets, 25-22, 25-16, and then it was all BG in set number 3, a 25-14 decision, as they really outclassed the Purple Panthers late. Went on a 10-point streak late, but the BG Cardinals trailing 18-16 here in set number 1. It's Maddie Norris back to serve again. And send it to Pascucci. Saved by Shepard for the Cavaliers. Here's Atkinson on the back set. Atkinson able to save it after the block at the net. All the way across court to Whalen. And Matos, great defender, able to save it. Pascucci goes right after Belden. Glasheen over to Knapp. Plays a tip, but Belden there once again. Shepard up to Whalen and down the line and out. And they're going to give the point to the Cardinals. Becky Balfour, the head coach for the Cavaliers, asking if it was a tip, but the decision not going their way. So 18-17. Here's Knapp to serve. Strong jump serve goes right after the outside hitter, Kaylee Whalen. And a service ace to tie the matchup at 18. Takes a bit off it this time. Shepard able to play it. There's Belden to Atkinson. Matos able to get a hand on it, and she'll play it over on a free ball. Atkinson once again, a bit softer this time, picked up by Gomez. Back set here to Pascucci. Down the line and not able to play it is Sammy Shepard. And back on top, 19-18 are the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Knapp with another strong serve. Here's Belden across to Whalen, and too much. Into the 20s here for BG, 20-18. Hollis-Brookline already more points in this first set than they had in their first set that they dropped to Dover in the state semis. A 25-16 mark. It's 20-18 in set number 1 in the championship. Belden, a great idea there to play it over. And the junior captain, Kira Belden, catches the Cardinals napping. And Maren Anderson in for Sammy Shepard as Natalie Cook, the junior, will be back to serve, down 1, 20-19 in the first set. Guertin to Pascucci in the middle and blocked. That's Maren Anderson and Elizabeth Atkinson on the tandem block, putting the lid on it, and they'll tie it at 20. Cook to serve once again. Gomez takes it away from Matos, and Pascucci tries to drop it in, but Atkinson is there. Norris picked up by Gomez. Pascucci once again. Atkinson just caught that ball too high up in her jump. The 6'2" junior has a lot of power, but needs to rein it in if she wants that hit to go. And Cook will check out. Shepard back in, 21-20, with Paula Matos serving here for the Cardinals. Gomez able to save it, but I think it caught her teammates by surprise that she was able to get a hand on it that soon, as Dow and Pascucci were kind of just looking around for it. Now tie the set up at 21. Kenzie Powers back to serve. Guertin with a lift as she was backing up, tried to play it away from the net. Hollis-Brookline with a 1-point lead. Powers to serve again, the captain. Here's Knapp from the back row, right in no man's land, as both Norris and Shepard looking at each other as that ball hits the ground on their side. Guertin will come out. That'll bring Nina Vassell back into the match. 22-all here in the first set. Pascucci with a jump serve. Played by Shepard. Over to Belden. Gomez with the hit, a changeup, but Whalen there all the way. Tipped at the net by Vassell and redirected it just enough to where Elizabeth Knapp not able to get there. 23-22, back and forth. Here's Kaylee Whalen to serve. Played back in from Matos, and a free ball played over. Belden, cross court to Norris. Blocked at the net. Norris able to keep it up, and she'll send it over. Dug out by Gomez to Pascucci. Tipped over by Knapp. A back and forth rally here with the score 23-22. And Kaylee Whalen plays it too high. See, she was leaning back. Forced her to play it over. And a timeout taken here. 23-23.
That's their first timeout.
So both coaches using a timeout here in the first set in what has been a back and forth affair, 23-23. For Bishop Guertin, it's been Pascucci and Guertin going back and forth with the setting duties, and they both have done about an equal job of finding their teammates. But Paula Matos in that back row with some remarkable digs on some of these powerful plays from Atkinson, Whalen, and Norris, to name a few for Hollis-Brookline. We've seen Mariana Gomez both in the back row and in the front row. Elizabeth Knapp has been all over the court as well for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. And Knapp will play up in the front row. She's joined by Nina Vassell and Rita Dow, Pascucci, Matos, and Gomez on the court right now for the Cardinals. A 23-23 score for Hollis-Brookline. In the back row, it's Shepard, Dinman, and Powers. Whalen, Anderson, and Belden in the front. 23-23 in the first set of the state championship match for Division I. Gomez is served, played by Norris. And a miscue there. And set point all of a sudden for Bishop Guertin in set one of the state championship. 24-23 with Gomez. She'll serve, a jump serve. Going right back for Norris, able to play it up this time. Belden will give it to her, and off in front of the net. BG taking set number one, here in the Division I state championship game. So the two-time back-to-back defending state champions drop set number 1, and the number 3 seed Bishop Guertin opening up a 1-0 lead. We'll see how it plays out. Hollis-Brookline was able to recover from a first set loss in their semifinal match. Bishop Guertin hoping that they can add to the momentum when we return right here on NHIAA TV.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another
at
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to the Hackler Gymnasium here on the campus of Pinkerton Academy. It's the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers taking on the Bishop Guertin Cardinals in the NHIAA Division I state championship game for volleyball. Matt Everett and Tim O'Neill here bringing you the action. The number 1 team in the state, undefeated back-to-back state champion Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers, dropping the first set by a 25-23 mark, and it was really back and forth. And for me, the MVPs of that first set, Elizabeth Knapp and Paula Matos. Knapp was all over the floor, getting tons of kills and even a couple digs to boot, and Matos digging out everything hit her way. That's her job as the libero in the green shirt, and she's done it well. And starting out set number 2 on the court for the Cardinals, it'll be Matos and Knapp, joined by Mariana Gomez, Alicia Glasheen, Julia Pascucci, and Rachel Crowell. And for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers, Sammy Shepard, Sierra Dinman, Elizabeth Atkinson, Natalie Cook, and Maddie Norris. And it's Belden to serve, and we're underway in set number 2 here in the state championship game. Matos plays it over, and a lift called on the set from Glasheen. So an unforced error gives Hollis-Brookline their first points here in set number 2. A 1-0 set advantage for Bishop Guertin as they took set number 1, 25-23. Belden over again. Glasheen gets the set off this time without fault, and Pascucci has to be dug out. Shepard plays it off the ceiling. Dinman over on a free ball. It's Gomez to Glasheen. Tipped over from Pascucci, and just in front of the line. Tied up at 1. Good presence of mind there from Julia Pascucci, the 5'11" junior, to drop the ball in on a tip. Tied up at 1. Knapp to serve. First serve of the second set for the Cardinals. Atkinson with a tip of her own, but Glasheen there waiting. Another dig there from Matos. And Pascucci, no luck there as she tries to go for the hard kill, but plays it too far down in her swing, and it goes right into the net. Here's Norris in to serve. 2-1 the lead here early on in set number 2 for the Cavaliers. Right at Matos, she picks it up. Pascucci with a tip, but Norris there waiting. Atkinson down the line. Matos able to pick it up. Pascucci not able to play it off the net. Three to 1 with Maddie Norris back at the service line. Kaylee Whalen coming into the game. Dinman will have a seat on the bench. Knuckleball, Gomez just does what she can to get in front of it, get the hands up. And Pascucci and Glasheen not able to get there in time. So 4-1 lead in set number 2 for Hollis-Brookline. Gomez plays this one up. Pascucci puts it over. Belden cross court to Cook. And under the net went Gomez. I'm going to say they touched it 4 times, so a 5-1 lead. Hollis-Brookline seizing the momentum here early on in set number 2. They trail 1-0 in the sets. Gomez and Matos communicating. Gomez takes it, Pascucci back to Gomez. Atkinson just off the net, and Glasheen. There's Gomez off the ceiling here. at the Hackler Gymnasium on the campus of Pinkerton Academy. Glasheen, another play near her face, and Gomez puts it over, now up in the front row. Here's Gomez, goes down the line, but played up by Norris. Whalen off the tip. Matos able to keep it up. A long rally here. Pascucci not able to be picked up by Shepard, and a long momentum-seizing rally won by the Cardinals. That'll send Crowell to the bench. And here's Matos to serve. The libero, a short jump serve that goes off the front side of the net right by Rita Dow, who just checked into the game, and a 6-2 advantage now for the Cavaliers. Cook back to serve. Whalen right at Knapp, but she plays it over. Belden sets it behind her. Atkinson tipped up at the net. A dive by Pascucci, but not in time. As Hollis-Brookline now with a 7-2 lead in the second set. They dropped set number one by a 25-23 mark. And they're starting out here in the second set hot. Glasheen, a miss hit there. That forces Matos to play it over from the back row. Another back row hit right in between Glasheen and Matos. That was number 16, Maddie Norris, the junior outside hitter. That'll put Cook back at the service line, 8-2. The biggest lead of the match either way. It's Hollis-Brookline with the advantage in set number two. Short serve, never had a chance. Cuts the deficit to 5. That'll bring Sammy Shepard back into the game. And for BG, Nina Vassell, one of 3 seniors, will check in. Pascucci to serve. Both these teams, by the way, have only 3 seniors. So these are going to be top teams in the state of New Hampshire for a couple of years to come. Atkinson blocked at the net. She picks it up herself. Whalen saved by Pascucci. Here's Matos back up to Knapp in the back row. Knapp has it go off and a dive, but not in time for Matos. So a 9-3 lead. Back up to 6 points here for Hollis-Brookline. And for the Cavs, Powers, Dinman, and Megan Cochran, who we have not seen yet, the only 3 seniors, and Bishop Guertin, Gomez, Elise Roy, and Nina Vassell. So both sides really utilizing 2 of their 3 seniors almost at all times. And an error from Knapp. She's only a sophomore. 7 points now, the biggest lead of the match, 10-3. They go right back at her, but Knapp able to pick it up. Matos sends it over the net. Miscommunication between Powers and Shepard, numbers 1 and 2 on the roster. Gives BG a point, brings it back to 10-4. Mariana Gomez, she was the server for the last 2 points of this first set, and she gets an ace in her first set of set number 2. Gomez's serves and the ensuing plays got Bishop Guertin their 24th and 25th points in set number 1. They trail 10-5. Here in the second set, blocked at the net, but a strong save there, and it's Gomez with the dig. Knapp with a tip, saved by Powers. Gomez, another strong dig. Shepard plays it up. Here's Norris from the back row. Tipped at the net and played over on a pancake. That was Julia Pascucci who got down to save it. Back and forth we go here in the second set, and a lift called on Kira Belden, the setter. Brings the Cardinals back to within 4. It's a 10-6 mark here in set number 2. Bishop Guertin hoping to upset the back-to-back state champion Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers here in Division I. Whalen tipped up at the net. Roy able to save it. They'll go cross net. Shepard with a nice dig. Whalen not able to get there in time. She does what she can to play it over. There's Knapp once again. And they're going to say a double touch on Rita Dow. And 11-6 the score as the 5'10" sophomore Kaylee Whalen will serve. Gomez mishits it, but Matos able to save it. Pascucci calling off her teammates, sends it over. Little pipe play there, that sends Maren Anderson down the line. Pascucci plays it back over. Matos with the dig. Here's Pascucci with the set all the way to the back row. Gomez forced to play it over. Blocked at the net, putting the lid on it is Rita Dow. Makes up for the unforced error earlier. 11-7 now. BG starting to regain some momentum. Matos to the bench. And Rachel Crowell, who started the match, back in. She'll play in the middle, also plays on the right side. And Becky Balfour, I think, arguing that play that Pascucci played over. She's saying that it went over the marker on the side of the net. That kept the rally alive. Here's Glasheen, too much mustard on it. And they get the point back, 12-7, regaining that 5-point lead. And Natalie Cook into the game. She'll come in for Maren Anderson. Here's Shepard to serve. Matos sends it back over. And a relatively easy play for Knapp near the net. Blocked at the net, and it goes out of bounds. That's Maddie Norris who will get credit for the kill. (13-7) here in set number 2 of the Division I state championship game. And the referees are going to go over and meet. Becky Balfour calling her team over, and the Cardinals will meet by themselves on the court. They're going to award the point to the Cardinals. They were saying that it was tipped back over the net and off the hands of Maddie Norris, who got the initial kill, but now they're going to say that it went off on her and give the point to BG. So that's a whole point-and-a-half swing. Brings it to 12-8, only a 4-point deficit now as Nina Vassell subs out. Glasheen back into the game. She'll be joined in the back row by Gomez and Matos, Pascucci, Knapp, and Dow up front. Over to Norris. Right at Gomez. She makes up for the point on the last rally and opens the lead back up to 13. Atkinson checks in for the Cavs. And the senior captain, Kenzie Powers, to the bench. And with Atkinson coming in at 6'2", head coach Abby Savard will match her with 6'3" Elizabeth Field, who we have not seen yet. She'll come in for Rita Dow in a 13-8 second set. Here's Belden, the setter to serve. Glasheen finds Knapp and off the marker on the side of the net as she tried to catch the Cavaliers off guard. Not to be, and here's Kara Belden with a 14-8 lead. Strong serve at Gomez, hits it right to the libero Matos. Pascucci blocked at the net, and they're gonna say that Julia was over. They're gonna call a replay, keep the score at 14-8. This time to Matos, now Gomez, and from the back row, Matos forced to play it. There's Atkinson. Field puts the lid on it, height on height, and Elizabeth Field with the inch advantage comes out on top. Great block at the net. That brings the service back the Cardinal way, and it'll be Elizabeth Knapp to take it. Knapp way long on the service. 15-9 now the score. Both these sides going back and forth. Hollis-Brookline with a little bit of a cushion here at 6 points. Maddie Norris, the junior outside hitter, will serve here for Hollis-Brookline. Gomez right at Norris, plays it up off the bleachers. Shepard almost able to save it off those bleachers. And BG back to within 5 as Field checks out. And Rita Dow, 5'11" junior, comes back in. And the libero Matos to serve. Plays a knuckling ball. Whalen tipped at the net, goes down on the BG side. The lead back to 6. Playing it over is Natalie Cook. Gomez back into that corner, going after Cook, but able to save it behind her. Atkinson, a soft tip. Gomez is able to get under it, playing in the front row now. Here's Atkinson once again, down the line, right between Knapp and Matos. And again, both of them looking at each other as that ball hits the ground and opens up a 7-point lead. 17-10 here in set number 2 for Hollis-Brookline. Cook serving once again. Glasheen over to Gomez, and Atkinson sends it back her way. And the biggest lead of the match thus far, an 18-10 score, and that'll prompt a timeout from Abby Savard. So in a first set that BG took 25-23, it's been back and forth, although Hollis-Brookline opening it up here a bit in set number 2, currently sitting at 18-10, the biggest lead of the match either way. And Hollis-Brookline with a pair of 7-point leads and a couple of 6-point leads in the set as well. This game a rematch of the 2015 Division I championship, in which the Hollis-Brookline Cavs beat the BG Cardinals as the 4th seed. BG was the number 2 seed. That was a 3-1 decision. They won it last year, obviously. Then the last team to win the Division I championship that was not Hollis-Brookline was Merrimack over Concord back in 2014. And for Hollis-Brookline, this match eerily imitating their semifinal match, in which they dropped a 25-16 decision in set number 1 and came back and won set number 2 25-17 before taking the last 2 sets 25-22 and 25-15 to advance to this match. Bishop Guertin defeated Nashua South 3-0 in their semifinal matchup to get here as well. 18-10 here in set number 2. Pascucci will play it over. Belden, cross court. Matos able to get a hand on it, but not high enough for Alicia Glasheen to get there. And a 9-point lead now, 19-10 for Hollis-Brookline. Natalie Cook, seems like she's been serving for an hour. She's got a 9-point cushion to work with. Off the top of the net and down, that'll give BG their 11th point of the set. Bring the lead back to 8 for the defending 2-time champ, Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Sammy Shepard back into the game. She'll send Cook to the bench. Glasheen checks out, and Elizabeth Knapp, or rather that's Nina Vassell, will come in, and Pascucci serve off the bottom of the net. Never had an opportunity. 20-11. Atkinson comes out. Powers comes in, the senior captain. Will be in the back row with Shepard, and then the 5'11" Maddie Norris also in the back row. So going with the size advantage is Becky Balfour. Belden over to Whalen. Too powerful on that drive. BG cuts the lead back to 8. Here's Mariana Gomez. 20-12 the score. She goes at Belden. Nice save from Knapp. She plays a free ball. Belden in the middle. Good dig there from Matos. Pascucci back to Gomez in the back row. Belden goes cross court to Whalen. Gomez able to get a hand on it. Matos a dive near the stands on the far side. Not able to get the hand underneath it. Gotta give credit to Paula Matos. She is all over the place. Not afraid to get down. 21-12 though the score for Hollis-Brookline in set number 2. And Kaylee Whalen, the sophomore, The right-handed serve. Knuckling, Matos able to get underneath it. Here's Whalen from the front row, tipped up and played. Belden back to Norris, who had the dig. Back and forth action here. Here's Pascucci. And a double touch called on the Bishop Guertin setter. That's Julia Pascucci. Hollis-Brookline up 10 in set number 2, running away with it here after dropping the first set of the match, 22-12. And Whalen to serve once again. Pascucci keeps it alive, and Vassell tries to drop it in, but Belden a heads-up play. Pascucci with the dig. Matos plays it up over to Knapp, and she does everything she can just to put it over the net, and she does. That one is in, and Maren Anderson gets credit for the kill. Hollis-Brookline 2 points away from taking set number 2. Kaylee Whalen to serve once again. It's been long rallies here in the second set. It felt like Natalie Cook was serving forever, and now Whalen's been back at the service line for a while. That streak will end, though. She puts it into the net, and an unforced error will send Whalen out and bring in 5'1" Sierra Dinman into that back row. 23-13 with Rita Dow serving for the Cardinals. Blocked at the net, and Dow over to Pascucci, plays it across to Knapp, and hits it too far down in her swing. She played that one down by her shoulder. And set point here for BG, looking to even up the sets at 1. 24-13, Sammy Shepard, the libero, will serve. Goes right at Gomez. Matos not able to get there in time, and the second set goes to Hollis-Brookline by a 25-13 score. A dominating effort by the back-to-back defending state champions in the second set. And we are tied at 1 set apiece here in the NHIAA Division I Championship between the Bishop Guertin Cardinals and the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Keep it right here on NHIAA TV.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Matt Neverett and Tim O'Neill joining you from the Hackler Gymnasium on the campus of Pinkerton Academy for the NHIAA Division I State Championship volleyball matchup between the Bishop Guertin Cardinals and the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. And we have a tie match. Bishop Guertin took set 1 by a 25-23 score in a back and forth affair. And Hollis-Brookline, a dominating outing after dropping set number 1. They took the second set by a 25-13 mark, and it was a couple of long runs, namely on the serves by Natalie Cook and Kaylee Whalen. And for Hollis-Brookline, I've said it before, but they dropped set number 1 in their semifinal match, and they got blown out 25-16 by Dover, and then they came back and won 25-17, 25-22, and 25-15. So after dropping the first set, still not a comfortable feeling for the Cardinals. And we're underway here in set number 3. Bishop Guertin in white, moving from the right to the left, and Hollis-Brookline wearing black. Here's Norris, blocked by Elizabeth Field, who starts the set on the court for the first time tonight. Vassell, then Pascucci plays it over. Belden over to Anderson on a pipe play, and Vassell forced to play it over. Here's Norris, a block at the net, a tandem effort by Vassell and Field, but off their hands and falls on their side on the other part of the court. Rita Dow will check out, and the libero, Paula Matos, checks back into the game. 1-0. Hollis-Brookline leading with Sammy Shepard serving. Gomez with the dig, Pascucci in at center. Knapp plays it off the block and down on her side. And the Cavaliers with a 2-0 lead here in set number 3. The looking to cap off third consecutive championship and a perfect season for the Cavaliers. They lead 2-0. Shepard a low serve. Gomez has to go to her knees to pick it out. And Knapp goes right back at Shepard. And the point goes to Bishop Guertin after Kira Belden goes under the net. And Vassell will check out. Alicia Glasheen comes in. 2-1 the score. Hollis-Brookline on top here early. The match tied at 1 set apiece in the state championship game. Dinman in for the Cavaliers. She gets the dig. Glasheen with the set, plays it behind her to Pascucci. Belden across the court to Maddie Norris, puts it down right in front of Mariana Gomez. Nothing she could do about that one, and it's a 3-1 lead for the defending two-time state champions. Kenzie Powers checks out, and the 6'2" Elizabeth Atkinson comes in. 3-1. Here's Belden to serve. Gomez with the dig over to Glasheen. Back to Pascucci, leaning back and able to put it over. Free ball over the net. Let's see if BG can take advantage. Glasheen, short set right to Pascucci. Belden goes to a knee to pick it out. Atkinson, a drive off the top of the net, and a whistle called, still no indication. They're going to give BG the point, and a lift called on Atkinson. And she's looking at the referee. She doesn't think that she lifted it up, and Belden immediately going over. A couple of words for the head judge. They're going to redo it. Belden said work, as Atkinson not charged with the lift. So after all that, we'll send Kira Belden to the service line once again. A 3-1 score as we redo the point. Belden goes at Gomez like she did on the prior serve. Up to Pascucci, blocked down. That's going to be a BG point after Cook and Atkinson on the tandem block. Not able to put it over on the other side of the net. And the deficit at 1 point here for Bishop Guertin. Elizabeth Knapp, she's done a little bit of everything, and she'll serve here down a point. Belden plays it up. Atkinson with the tip. Gomez now in the front row. Goes to Maddie Norris. Belden to Cook. Pascucci goes down and saves it. Gomez goes for the back corner, and too strong. She tried to play it over the head. Could not see where that back line was, and puts it out. 4-2 now the lead for Hollis-Brookline. Here's Maddie Norris, the junior outside hitter. She'll slide into the back row, along with Belden and Shepard. And a shot to the face of Paula Matos. And the Hollis-Brookline student section having fun with it. Both these schools showing out here for the state championship game. As you can see, the student sections on the edges of the far side stands, and the parents sitting calmly in the middle. 5-2 lead here for Hollis-Brookline in set number 3. Matos goes right at Shepard on the free ball. Atkinson at the net, blocked but saved by Shepard. All the way across to Cook, finds a hole in the coverage, and Elizabeth Knapp out of that back row, not able to get down in time. 6-2, a 4-point lead. But Maddie Norris serving once again. Glasheen, the setter, calls for it. She'll get it to Pascucci. And out of bounds, too long. Hollis-Brookline going on another run here. They're up by 5. It's 7-2. They took set number 2 by a 25-13 mark after dropping set 1. 25-13. Error there from Norris on the serve. And it goes back to BG. Dow checks in. Field will come out for the first time this set, down by 4. The libero Matos to serve. I'll say a BG player was out of position. I think they're going to call Mariana Gomez. Say she was too far back on that serve. which was a good one from Matos. She was behind the line on the jump serve. So now Gomez heads to the back row, down 8-3. Here's Cook. Goes to Gomez with the dig. And another error as Gomez, or rather Pascucci with the two-hander. The double touch will bring the score to 9-3 and force Abby Savard to call a timeout. So set number one was back and forth the entire time, with BG winning it by a 25-23 score. And in that set, it really felt like whoever served last was going to win. And that was the case with BG taking a 2-point lead into the second set. Mariana Gomez, a couple of strong serves to finish out set number one. But for Hollis-Brookline, they went on a couple of long runs in the second set, and they jumped out to a 10-point lead, eventually winning the set by 12 points and a 25-13 mark. So a tight one in the first one that BG came out on top. Hollis-Brookline, a dominating effort in set number two, and they're up by 9-3. Here in set number three. This game a rematch of the 2015 state championship between these two schools. And it was Hollis-Brookline coming out on top. They won by a 3-1 advantage. BG hoping to avoid that. 9-3 the score. Gomez, Glasheen, Roy, and Vassell were sophomores in that state championship loss, so they remember that well. And Knapp too low on the kill attempt from the back row, and the sophomore opens up the Hollis-Brookline lead to 10-3, a 7-point advantage. And it's Cook to serve once again. She had that long stretch of services in set number two. Goes to Gomez, plays it up on top of the bleachers here at Pinkerton Academy, and another error on the defense. And the score 11-3 now. Hollis-Brookline jumping out and seizing momentum in the third set. So Cook has really been the barometer so far for the Cavaliers. Goes at Gomez again and gets another service ace. So a 9-point lead now here in the third set. The Cavaliers running away with the momentum in a bid for their third consecutive state championship at the Division I level. Cook goes soft, hits the net. So after two service aces, a service error of her own, and she'll come out with Shepard checking in. Nina Vassell will spell Alicia Glasheen, the setter, so Pascucci in the front row to set. 12-4. Actually, Pascucci in that back row, so she'll be back row setting down by 8. A service ace of her own as Maddie Norris not able to get down in time. So the last 4 points were two Natalie Cook aces going right at Mariana Gomez. An error on a serve from Cook, and then Pascucci with an ace of her own, and BG trails by 7. Off the top of the net, so the stretch of scoring on the serve continues. That's the 5th straight point won without a dig. Pascucci rotates from right to left. She'll serve down the left line, into that back row. Norris plays it up. It's Belden to Atkinson. Matos able to get the arms underneath it. A high play, and Dow sends it over. Back to Atkinson once again. Pascucci able to get the hands under it. Matos out of that back row. Belden goes to Whalen. Dow blocked at the net. Pascucci able to get under it, and Vassell puts it over. A strong rally to score 12-6 in set number 3. Atkinson off the block of Dow and Gomez. And Hollis-Brookline gets the serve back. That'll send Atkinson to the bench on the rotation. Kenzie Powers, the senior captain, checks back in. 13-6, Hollis-Brookline up by 7 points in set number 3 here in the state championship. Knuckling ball to Matos, and Vassell sends it back to her. Belden sends it over on the second hit, catches Dow off guard with the hands near the face, and the lead back up to 8 with Powers to serve. So off the bench, a couple of strong plays from the senior. Matos keeps it up, and that started with the play of Knapp. So 15-6, and we'll see Eileen Valente for the first time. She'll take Knapp out of the game. Valente, a 5'1" junior. Powers to serve up 9, goes at Valente, digs it out. Gomez in the front row, a soft play over. Maren Anderson. Gomez. Whalen goes to Matos, but she picks it up. Played over on the second hit by Pascucci. Belden a jump and a set behind her to Anderson, tipped over by Dow. Play kept alive. Out of the back row, here's Norris. Valente saves it, puts it back over the net. Whalen goes to Valente again. She picks it up. Not able to get there is Gomez. And Hollis-Brookline up by 10 points in the third set. And Gomez arguing that the referee in the corner inhibited her progress. She might have a valid point as the side judge going over to talk to the man on the platform. It would bring the Hollis-Brookline lead back down to 9 points. A quick conversation, and doesn't look like anything's going to change, so it's going to stay at 16-6. Gomez not quite done arguing her case, but the score will stay as it is. And Kenzie Powers going on a long run behind the service line. She'll do it again here. Valente off the bench. Another great defensive play and a lift called on Dow. She tried to put it over on the second hit. And Abby Savard and the rest of this BG team none too happy with the refereeing right now. Valente off the face of Matos, but Gomez able to save it. Anderson blocked at the net. That was Gomez and Dow. And a 12-point advantage, the biggest of the match here for Hollis-Brookline. The Cardinals looking to side out. This is a bad rotation for them here. They're down 12. Long, but Valente will play it. Vassell sends it over. Anderson, played by Valente, and a tip at the net. 19-6, Hollis-Brookline running away with the third set, and a good move by Abby Savard to call the timeout. So Hollis-Brookline well on their way to a victory in here in set number 3 rather. BG winning the first set in a tight one. A 2-point win in set number 1, 25-23. Hollis-Brookline a 25-13 victory in the second set. And then Hollis-Brookline opening up a 19-6 advantage. A 13-point lead as we sit right now here in set number 3 in the state championship.
NHIAA encourages all fans to remain for the award ceremony immediately following this competition.
Hollis-Brookline trying to cap off an undefeated season. They went 22-4 last year, state championship, and 19-3 in 2015. And they beat this BG team by a 3-1 mark to win their first of 2 consecutive state championships at the Division I level, trying to make it 3 in a row tonight. And they are 6 points away from doing so, or at least taking a distinct advantage after dropping the first set. They have done nothing but dominate in sets number 2 and 3. So Kenzie Powers to serve. She has been for some time. Goes to the libero Matos. Pascucci into the front row to Vassell. Atkinson blocked at the net. Good lid. Norris sends it to the back row. Eileen Valente. Down to Norris. Belden to Kaylee Whalen, down past a diving Valente. And everything that the Cavaliers seem to do here in the third set has worked out, as they now have a 14-point advantage, 20-6. They lead. Valente plays it over, but Gomez there to pick her up. And they'll go at Gomez, but she sends it back over. Whalen off the block of Dow. And Bishop Guertin needing a side out, something desperate, as they are trailing 21-6. Abby Savard, the head coach, with some instructions. And that one stuffed at the net from Maren Anderson. They're going to say it got down. Vassal thought she got a hand underneath it. 22-6 the score in set number 3. 3 points away are the Cavaliers from taking a 2-1 advantage. All behind the serves of Kenzie Powers, and Pascucci saves it. Gomez puts it over. An excellent team effort there. Matos gets down, Pascucci up to Gomez once again. Off the arm of Sammy Shepard, and BG finally gets back on the board. That'll put Mariana Gomez back to the service line. 22-7 they trail. Knapp checks in Valente, who came in off the bench for the first time in the match here in set number 3. Did a good job, but she'll have a seat with Gomez to serve. Vassal, strong hit right at the libero Shepard. Here's Belden to Norris in the back row, and stuffed at the net is Dow. That one looked like it was going to be a bit short anyway, but just for good measure, Rita Dow went up and blocked it. 22-8 now. Again, Gomez back to serve. Sends a spinner moving from right to left, just able to get underneath it. Pascucci cross court to Knapp. Powers settles under it, and Norris hits it too far back in her swing that time. So after dropping a plethora of points in a row, BG gets 3 back consecutively, all off the serves of Gomez. Here she is again. Goes right at Powers. Matos out of that back row. Vassal with the tip, popped up and gets down. Maren Anderson tried to keep it up. I think she hit it 2 or 3 times. That cuts the lead to 12, and now a timeout for Becky Balfour.
Hollis-Brookline, that's their first timeout.
And the Cavaliers still not in danger of dropping the set, but 4 consecutive points after winning a bunch of them in a row. Trying to get the momentum back is Balfour. More than likely saying something along the lines of, keep doing what you were doing when you were winning all those points in a row. They had some lucky bounces and some plays off the net during that stretch as well, but still well ahead of BG. For Bishop Guertin, they got here tonight by defeating the number 14 seeded Goffstown Grizzlies by a 3-1 mark in the opening round. On October 28th in the quarterfinal, they defeated the number 6 seeded Concord side by a 3-2 score. And then on Tuesday, right here on Nashua ETV, they defeated the Nashua South Purple Panthers, the number 7 seed. They swept them, 3-0 win. 25-22, 25-16, and 25-14. BG won set number 1 tonight by a 25-23 mark. Hollis-Brookline coming back in strong fashion in the second set. A good response, 25-13 they won, and they're up 22-10 with Mariana Gomez serving for the Cardinals. Goes long and gives the service back to the Cavaliers with 2 points needed to secure the set victory. And Gomez goes back and forth between the hard line drives and taking a bit off of it and hitting it right on the air pump and just knuckling the ball over, and that one just carried on her. So 23-10, Whalen serves. Knapp leaning back but is able to get it over. Blocked and played up by Matos. They'll send Gomez out of the back row. She sends it. Anderson to Gomez. And they're going to say that Dow was underneath the net. So set point for the Cavaliers, 24-10. Here's Kaylee Whalen. Gomez plays it up. Pascucci on this second hit, but waiting there was Kenzie Powers. Norris blocked at the net. It's down, and Hollis-Brookline 1 set away from a three-peat as state champions. They take set number 3 by a 25-10 score. And Bishop Guertin trying to respond. They've only scored 26 points in the last 2 sets combined. We'll see if they can when we come back. Set 4 coming up here on NHIAA TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Set number 4 coming up from the Ackler Gymnasium on the campus of Pinkerton Academy. It is Hollis-Brookline, the back-to-back defending state champions, going for the three-peat with a 2-1 set advantage over the number 3 seeded Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Tim O'Neill and Matt Everett joining you here tonight. And BG took the first set in a back-and-forth effort, 25-23 the score. And then Hollis-Brookline dominating in sets 2 and 3, 25-13 and 25-10. It was a couple of long runs, and in the last set, it was Kenzie Powers on the service that got them a ton of their points, and Kaylee Whalen gets the Cavs started in set number 4. A win here in the set would give the Cavaliers their 3rd consecutive state championship. Matos able to save it, rolling around on the divider that is rolled up, and that's in play. There's Anderson. She goes long, and it is called out. The referee wanted to call it in, but then throwing the flag up, signaling that the hit by Maren Anderson was long, and BG jumps out to a 1-0 lead. Whalen out, Sierra Dinman back in. Didn't see much of her in sets 2 and 3. Elizabeth Knapp, the first service in set number 4 for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Shepard up to Belden. Blocked at the net is Norris, but able to play it up. Dinman back to Norris once again. Gets through the block right around Elizabeth Field. We're tied up at 1 in the 4th set. Norris got blocked on the initial effort. That was Glasheen and Field on the initial block, but then she went right around the 6'3" Elizabeth Field. So Eileen Valente earned some more PT during that last set when she got in and had some good defensive plays. She checks in and watches the serve go long. Elizabeth Knapp to the bench, and now Elizabeth Field to the bench. 2-1, BG leads here in set number 4. Paula Matos, the libero. Blocked at the net is Norris. And they're going to say that one didn't get over, as now a 2-point advantage, 3-1. With Matos back to serve once again. The junior sends it over. Glasheen, the center out of the back row, plays it up to Matos. Gomez sliding up into the front. And they say that Powers was underneath the net. So a 4-1 lead for BG, trying to claim momentum here at the beginning of the 4th set. They'd like to even it up and send it to a 5th and final set here in the state championship. Matos, strong serve, and Dinman everything she can just to get there and play it over. Glasheen, that's to Rita Dow, and a good idea, but just too much on the hit, and it goes out of bounds. Atkinson will check in, and the senior captain, Kenzie Powers, comes to the bench. 4-2 the lead. Kira Belden back to serve, the setter for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Sends it back, there's Dow, drops this one in play. Dinman plays it up, and Atkinson down the line and didn't get across the net, so 5-2. BG trying to get a bit of a cushion, as they really have not been able to tonight. Nina Vassell comes in, Pascucci to serve. In that first set, it really was back and forth, and then BG just had a couple of points late that gave them the victory. Really have not jumped out to any kind of a big lead thus far. Atkinson takes a bit off of it. Matos able to get under. Gomez across. She's blocked, but she picks it back up herself. Matos plays it up and to the net down, not able to do anything with it. As Dinman checks out. Kaylee Whalen back in. 5-3 the score. Addie Norris, junior outside hitter to serve. Nina Vassell plays it over on a free ball. Good save from Valente, the junior. Gomez puts it into the back, but Norris, they're all waiting it. Here's Whalen. Goes long, and Valente gets a hand in there. Looked like that one might have been long, but rather safe than sorry in that back row. Valente just not able to get control, just flailing the arm out. And it is a 5-4 deficit here for Hollis-Brookline, and they'll serve. Valente at the last second gets the body out of the way, and a good call as it went out of bounds long. Knapp comes back in, and Valente gets some high fives from Abby Silvarda and the rest of her teammates on the bench. 6-4, 2-point lead with Gomez serving. Knuckling ball that is picked up by Sammy Shepard on the Hollis-Brookline side. Atkinson goes to Matos, not able to do anything with that powerful drive. 6-5 the score as Shepard checks out for the Cavs, as Maren Anderson will come in off the bench. Natalie Cook, the 5'11 junior, she'll serve. Her team down one. She had a long stretch of serves in the second set and a double touch called on Pascucci. She'll argue her case, but nothing will come of it. And we're tied up in the fourth set. 6-6 the score, 2-1 the score overall, with Hollis-Brookline leading. Gomez got the dig, and now she'll play it over. Anderson right into the back corner. Both Gomez and Matos thought it was going to go long, but it drops right in about 2 feet in front of that line on the left side of your screen. So 7-6, and the Cavaliers taking their first lead of set number 4. Just getting under it is Mariana Gomez. Knapp plays it over. Here's Atkinson down the right side, past the diving Gomez, and now a 2-point lead for the Cavs. They can sniff the championship out. 8-6 they lead in this fourth set. Natalie Cook still serving. 8-6. Her side now leads. Long and soft to Gomez. Pascucci puts it up to Vassell. And Pascucci tries to catch him sleeping. Great team play there from Norris and Cook. Whalen to play it over. There's Knapp blocked at the net. We'll see where it bounces, and it is on the Bishop Guertin side. Hollis-Brookline going on another run. That's 4 straight points for the Cavs, going for their 3rd consecutive state title. Cook, a low jump serve, but a hard line drive results. Belden back to Atkinson. She had to lean back. And a light play that just falls over the net. That was Elizabeth Knapp just doing everything she could to get underneath it, and it just so happened to fall about an inch on the Hollis-Brookline side of the net. So Cook will come out. There's Knapp to serve. And a lift. That's called on Kira Beltman, the setter. Not much she could do with that ball, just trying to get it away from the net. That happened to her earlier on in the match. 9-8. Knapp serving down one. Off the ceiling, and Shepard able to settle underneath it. Whalen leaning back, gets it too far back in the swing. And we're tied up at 9. Elizabeth Field into the game. It's Rita Dow on the serve. Belden plays it up, and a miscommunication between Anderson and Whalen. And just like that, BG with another lead. They're up 10-9 here in set number 4. Trying to send this match to a 5th and final set. Dow, another low line drive. Underneath it is Norris, and off the net. So back and forth, the momentum swings here in set number 4. The number 1 team in the state, Hollis-Brookline, down 11-9. They're up 2-1 in terms of sets off the hands of Kaylee Whalen. And now a 12-9 advantage for Bishop Guertin. Played up by Atkinson, off the ceiling once again. Belden sends it over. A diving Gomez, not able to get there in time. And the deficit cut to 2 for Hollis-Brookline. Kenzie Powers, the senior captain, will check back in. She'll take the serve with her team down 2. Goes to Matos, picks it up. Gomez sends it out of the back row across the net. Anderson goes to Gomez and swinging the arms around, not in time. And 12-11 now. Hollis-Brookline seizing momentum back once again, trying to tie the match up. Pascucci just getting it over, and Field uses her arms to put it over, and a Belden play as she tried to drop it over on the second hit. Good idea, bad execution. That opens up the lead to 2. Nina Vassell will come to the bench. Glasheen back into the game, and she'll serve. Soft to the libero Shepard. Anderson, a swing play behind her, down the line, off the net. And a timeout called from Becky Balfour. Her team down 14-11. And Bishop Guertin has shown that if they can get into the end of the set with a close advantage or a tie game with the momentum going back and forth, much like it did in the first set, that they're capable of going on a 2-3 point run at the end to go ahead and take the set, much like they did in set number 1. But Hollis-Brookline has shown that they can go on long runs of their own, much like they did in sets number 2 and 3. They took by a 25-13 and 25-10 advantage, respectively. It's going to be about who cracks first here in the 4th set. Bishop Guertin leading 14-11, and if they were able to win the set, they would send it to a 5th and final set of the Division I season. And this matchup, a rematch of the 2015 Division I NHIAA championship between these two teams, in which Hollis-Brookline won by a 3-1 advantage. And if they were able to come back and win this 4th set, we'd see the same thing. BG hoping to send it to at least a 5th set. And if it goes to 5, it would be first to 15. And Glasheen puts it over the net on the serve. Here's Whalen right between Gomez and Matos. Not the first time that's happened here tonight. Hollis-Brookline back to within 2 points, a 14-12 advantage for the Cardinals. And they're set to return the Kaylee Whalen serve. Matos plays it up. Field not able to do enough with it. Back to within a point now. Here come the Cavaliers. Ever since that first set, they have really been able to respond whenever they get down, and they've done so here coming out of the timeout. Whatever Becky Balfour said worked as they get their 3rd straight point now on the service ace. That's Kaylee Whalen. Just pinpoint accuracy going far side on the corner. And here comes Elise Roy for the first time in the game. Alicia Glasheen comes out, and Roy into the back row along with Gomez and Matos. In the front, it's Pascucci, Knapp, and Field. 14-14. Tied up here in the 4th set. Pascucci plays it up, and Matos has to send it on a free ball. A tip there, rolling on the top of the net, and they're going to give it to BG as Field was able to get up there in time. And another advantage for the number 3 seed Cardinals. 15-14 this time as Whalen checks out. They're going to go with a more defensive look with Sierra Dinman in that back row. Here's Knapp to serve. Goes to the corner, dug out by Norris. Belden back to Norris and right into the corner. That's where she's been going all night, and she's been feasting on that spot. Junior outside hitter Maddie Norris really bringing back a lot of the momentum as Knapp and Anderson both go to the bench. A pair of 11s will have a seat. Here's Shepard to serve. 15-15 the score. Goes with a knuckling ball at Pascucci. Hits up to field and into the net. Hollis-Brookline on top. They are 9 points away from their third consecutive state title. Shepard served to Valente, has to play it with the hands near the face. Gomez puts it back to Shepard. Valente up to Pascucci, goes for the corner, but didn't look where she was hitting it, trying to take advantage of some space in that corner and an unforced error. Pascucci getting some words of encouragement for Abby Savard. 17-15, Shepard serving again. Roy comes out of that back row, and Valente, a jumping hit from the back row as well. Here's Norris, blocked at the net. Shepard able to get there. They're going to say it never went over. 17-16, Bishop Guertin back to within a point. Field checks out. Rita Dow will spell her. 17-16, Bishop Guertin down by a point. Paula Matos, the libero for the Cardinals to serve. Goes to Dinman. And here's Norris, and just inside the line, Valente not able to get there on a diving effort. A good one, but that'll open up the lead at 2 points once again for Hollis-Brookline. Powers checks out. Atkinson checks in. So a distinct size advantage at the net now for the Cavaliers. Here's Belden to serve. Pascucci plays it over on the second hit. Dinman there. Atkinson blocked at the net, but it goes out of bounds. And Atkinson gets credit for a kill, 19-16. HB up by 3. Belden plays it over once again. Valente able to get under it. Into the corner, Knapp gets the kill. That's Rita Dow actually. 19-17 the score. And BG's gonna need to get ahead here, go on a little run. As Roy checks out, she played well off the bench. Nina Vassell comes back in. Julia Pascucci. Her side down 2, 19-17. And an error on the dig, that's Maddie Norris. 19-18 the score now. Pascucci's serve brings her side back within a point. Bishop Guertin fighting and clawing for their state championship lives. Norris able to dig this one out. She gets the set, goes and makes up for it as it's past Matos. So Norris, the error on the serve reception, comes back and gets the kill. It's got to be reassuring for Becky Balfour and the rest of this coaching staff. Norris has another year. She's just a junior. 20-18, Hollis-Brookline 5 points away from a state championship for the third year in a row. Gomez in the front row is blocked. 21-18. The Cavaliers up by 3. It's going to be Norris to serve once again. Low line drive, Valente, good job of picking it up. Here's Vassell, tipped at the net, that was Atkinson on it. And falls, nothing much that you could do about that one. Natalie Cook also in there. Valente will come out, Elizabeth Knapp checks back in. Going with some more size at the net, and here we have Mariana Gomez back to serve. BG's been going on long runs when Gomez is behind the service line. Here's Whalen, goes right at Gomez and hits it down. That gap between Gomez and Matos has been open for pretty much the entirety of the night. It's been Norris and Whalen from that outside hitter position taking advantage of it. 22-19, 3-point lead for the Cavaliers. Shepard comes off with Cook in to serve. Pascucci, short set, that's in. Down in the kill for Rita Dow. Dow back to serve. as Field now checks in. So now all of a sudden it's BG with the size advantage at the net. 22-20 here in an exciting fourth set. Back set to Atkinson, and down off the block of Field and Knapp. And Hollis-Brookline 2 points away from a third consecutive state title. Atkinson checks out. Kenzie Powers in, and she'll serve. 23-20, Hollis-Brookline. Low off the top of the net, but Pascucci, a reaction save. Knapp plays it over, and a good job communicating. You heard pretty much the entirety of the bench calling it out. Shepard listening, and it goes out. And Hollis-Brookline on the verge of a third consecutive state title, and a good call from Abby Savard. 24-20 the score. The fourth set here really mirroring the first set, which both of these sides went back and forth, but it was 23-23 in that first set, and BG came out and got a couple of points on some Gomez serves to win it. And since then, Hollis-Brookline 25-13, and then kept it up in the third set with a 25-10 victory. But then here in set number 4, the Cardinals coming back. It's been back and forth, really evenly matched. But here we sit, 24-20, Hollis-Brookline on the verge of a third consecutive state championship game. Becky Balfour breaks the huddle with her team. They're in good spirits, but BG, they need a couple of points. They cannot make any mistakes here. So it's Kenzie Powers to serve. The NHIAA Division I championship on the line. 24-20 the score. Hollis-Brookline with a 2-1 set advantage. They lead 24-20 here in set number 4. Powers serve to Matos. Gomez plays it up, and a free ball here from Pascucci. It's Shepard. Belden. Whalen off the set of Pascucci, and Hollis-Brookline has won their third consecutive NHIAA Division I championship. Becky Balfour and the rest of the coaching staff ecstatic. So in 2015, Hollis-Brookline beat BG 3-1. 2016, they beat Concord 3-1. And here in 2017, Hollis-Brookline repeating, three-peating. They dropped the first set by a 25-23 mark, and then they won set number 2, 25-13. Kept it up in set number 3 by a 25-10 mark, and they take set number 4 and their third consecutive state title by a 25-20 mark. Hollis-Brookline shaking hands with BG, your state champions for the third year in a row. A well-fought match for Bishop Guertin nonetheless. This has been a production of Nashua ETV. I'd like to thank Pete Johnson, Tim O'Neill, and everybody else with Channel 99 Nashua ETV. This is Matt Neverett signing off. Hollis-Brookline, your NHIAA state champions in Division I for the third year in a row.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
Presenting tonight's awards for the NHIAA are members of the NHIAA Girls Volleyball Committee, Phil Malachi and Matt Gibbs. I'd like to present the 2017 runner-up plaque to Coach Abby Savard and her captains Mariana Gomez, Elise Roy, and Nina Bessel. Coach Savard will now hand out individual medals. Number 2, Julia Pescucci. Number 3, Eileen Valente. Number 4, Captain Mariana Gomez. Number 5, Alicia Clashy. Number 6, Captain Elise Roy. Number 7, Captain Nina Bessel. Number 9, Rita Dow. Number 11, Elizabeth Knapp. Number 12, Elizabeth Field. Number 14, Madison Keating. Number 15, Rachel Crowell. Number 16, Paola Matos. Number 17, Brielle Bastille. Managers, Sophia Bemis. Nate Newton. Assistant coaches, Kyle Clement. And Valeria Gomez. Let's have a big round of applause for Bishop Guertin. And now this year's champions, Hollis-Brookline. Receiving the trophy and plaque, Coach Becky Balfour, Captain Kenzie Powers, Tyra Belden, and Maddie Norris. Receiving one of the game balls for tonight, Maddie Norris got her 500th kill. And now Coach Balfour will hand out the individual awards. Number 1, Sandy Shepard. Number 2, Captain Kenzie Powers. Number 5, Captain Kyra Dalton. Number 6, Sierra Dimon. Ashley Burke. Number 9, Amanda Elvins. Number 10, Ellie Jordan. Number 11, Maren Anderson. Number 12, Natalie Cook. Number 13, Brody Kelly. Number 14, Elizabeth Bonnet. Number 16, Maddie Norris. Number 17, Kaylee Whalen. Number 18, Megan Cochran. And number 25, Elizabeth Atkinson. Managers, Kaylee Hallett. Len Shepard. Assistant coaches, Jake Balfour. And Ed Leonard. Give a round of applause for the 2017 champion Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers.